You're done. You're done.
Welcome back to the pre-show, guys. Today we have All-Star Weekend, two-handers versus one-handers. The best players in the world so far this season, 5v5, going to take on a best of five or a race to three, where it's going to be a head-to-head match. 5v5.
This is a true All-Star weekend. I mean, this is as true as it gets. It's just like any other All-Star weekend for any other sport where it's like the best from each division or whatever, and now they're splitting it one-handed, two-handed. But this is top five of each, so it's literally the All-Stars, and I like that. I like that. The other All-Stars in the past have just kind of been like guys you want to see and stuff, which is part of it as well. But if you want a true All-Star weekend, you got to get the guys that are striking right now, like Tim Foy. No one would think Tim Foy would be an All-Star, and he's bowling amazing this year, so he deserves to be here. So where in the past it's been kind of like we just picked some of the best names the last 15 years. I'm excited to see this. This is the truest All-Star weekend they could give so far. And I'm ready to see one hand versus two hand. The battle of the traditionalists and the newbies, the new wave of the sport.
We'll see. I'm just curious to see how many, after watching the practice session yesterday, bowling the Pro-Am, doing the clinic the previous day with Kyle Troop, how many puns does he throw out there during the match?
Oh, Kyle.
It's going to be every time he bowls, he's going to say something.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it should be like that.
Yeah.
You got to really lean into the whole one-handed two-handed thing, especially for this, for the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want to win as well, but this is a fun weekend. This is more entertainment for the fans. So, yeah, I hope he does that. He's gonna lean into it, but that's how Kyle always is.
Everybody coming to the shows, I told him, because when we were chatting with the people at the Pro-Am, which was not at this center, it was at their other center that they own. I was chatting with them. I was like, "Oh, you going to the shows?" And if they said, "Yeah," I was like, "This is gonna be a fun one. Like, it's gonna be." It's just gonna be a different vibe than all of the other PBA shows, where this one will truly be like about the fun. And yes, there'll be some competition. These guys want to win, but it'll be more about like, hey, like let's just have a good time. Let's joke around with each other. Let's get the fans into it. Let's get into it ourselves a little bit. But it's not like, hey, I'm bowling for, my livelihood. This is like, hey, I'm bowling for fun with my friends, and hopefully we can come out on top at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's a race to three, which is essentially a best of five. But if it's 2-2, they're going to what you said, a 9th, 10th frame roll off earlier.
We got a decent question on here. It's on FS. So you asked if this is. Ashley Smart said, "Will we be able to watch this live on TV on Fox 55?" I don't know what Fox 55 is,
Maybe the local
but
channel
it's going to
and
be
location?
on Fox Sports 1.
FS1.
FS1, and it'll be on TV in 28 minutes. So for those of you tuning in here, for those of you about to tune in, it'll be on FS1 in 28 minutes. So we're just going to roll straight into the TV show. We normally would do it from the TV set, but obviously we can't because they're practicing, they're warming up, it's loud, it's bumping, and the show's about to get underway in 28 minutes. So head over there in 28 minutes, FS1.
Yeah. So early on, what is your kind of predictions that we got here? One-handers versus two-handers. Some would immediately think two-handers just because that's where the new wave is now.
Also, we're on strings.
We are
didn't
on
say
strings.
that.
We are on strings.
It's the first PBA event on string pins.
Yeah.
We are
First televised event on string pins.
Okay, these aren't carnival strings like what you see in Packy's videos.
Don't block the.
But no, these are USBC PBA approved string pen machines. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see what leaves you see. Like
the real
the
ones.
strike percentage.
So
What people don't realize is the scores on these type of string pins are not higher. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, you're bowling on string." No, the scores are lower on string pins by a couple. It's not a massive difference like you might think. Like, oh, it's going to be 15 again. No, it's like.
I mean, it's like 7 to 8 is what USBC has.
I think USBC has it as like 2 or 3.
No, I think it's 7 or 8. They're talking. Chris Ron was talking about it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
I know
7 or 8.
I know their initial thing. String messengers. Anybody?
Well, so here's my question for you guys. We've all bowled on strings, competitive, and that's obviously we're talking about competitive. Are you pro string? Are you against string? Are you indifferent? You don't care?
I'm gonna ask the people too.
Do you love or hate strings?
Love.
Do you, Boog? Do you love or hate
Hate.
strings?
I love them. I think it keeps the bowling centers open.
It's funny hearing that from
Yeah.
Bug because Bug gets all the funky hits, and you lose the funky hits.
You do.
You lose it. You got to hit more, just like flush in the pocket. You don't mix them up as well. You don't get the light mixtures. It's a more quote unquote, in my opinion, truer form of like bowling. And EJ Tackett even talks about it, the hottest bowler on the planet. He talks the hottest planet on the bowler. He even talks about, because he bowls on strings at home now in his center, that he feel like he's gotten better at reading his ball going through the pins because you have to have it read better.
Yeah, you have to.
So, and you see that guy strikes more than anyone on the earth. So, I think strings is the more truer form where you get rid of some of the crappy hits and whatever. Like Brooklyn's don't carry as much. Sorry.
The rookie.
The brookies. And you don't get a lot of messengers. Like I've only seen 2 messengers in the amount of bowling I've seen on strings. And it was you and then Ryan Barnes yesterday in practice. So I think people would come around if they see it more often. But I am curious to see what that does today. You're not going to see a bunch of weird high-flying string shots like people think.
I just think you had the best point that I think we've heard in a while when it comes to the string debate yesterday, where I was like, you came up and you asked us, you said, hey, if we started bowling on string pins and then we switched over to free fall, everybody would probably be complaining
the
about
other way
it'd
around.
be flipped. It'd be like, oh well, we haven't seen pins fall like that, we haven't seen reactions like that, so we don't know how we should feel about it.
Yeah. And it's just the truth. It's just what you're used to. It's just like evolving. Like people don't like the new wave of basketball that guys can shoot from 40 feet now, but that's just how the game is, and
It's just
they might not like it, but that's just what it is. And it's just like, yeah, it's just like anything. It's like you get a new haircut, you think you look awful at first, and then after a couple of days, you're like, oh, I like it now. It's the same thing. So,
If you guys are going on YouTube, we did put up a poll on the house bowling. I gave a third option: love, hate, or don't care. We're all bowling on the same thing, because
That's
my
the answer.
My
That's the
perspective is not love or hate it. It's like, if we're all playing on a par 3 golf course today, we're all playing on a par 3. If we're all bowling on a house shot, or if we're all bowling on the U.S. Open pattern, as long as we're all bowling in the same environment, it doesn't really matter. It's not love or hate. Like you said, that it makes, let's say a 16-lane center in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Let's say their energy bill every month was $20,000. What if all of a sudden it's 10, and now they get to stay open? They don't have to pay a mechanic. They get to stay open a little longer.
Yeah.
They get to maybe do some different things because now they have a little more money. Maybe now they can upgrade their center once a year because they'll have an extra $100,000 from saving that 10 a month, maybe more. Maybe it's 10 a month on the energy bill, and then it's another
100 a year from a mechanic.
It's another 7 a month, so it's $17,000 a month, where they can now just hire a kid to go back there and untangle the strings. And yeah, it offers a whole lot more opportunity for centers to, 1, stay open, and 2, improve their experiences.
Yeah.
They can upgrade their bar. They can, put new flooring in. They can repaint the ceiling, the wall. They can fix the things in the buildings that we've seen. We've all been to these, some of those towns where you see a bowling alley and you're like, I just really hope this stays open for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it's going the wrong way. But if you can save money and put that money back into the building, or put that money back into your league base or stuff like that, if we're all bowling on the same thing, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, you just want to see centers thriving. And that's what, the first time me and Boog bowled on strings, we went and we bowled a regional up in Utah. And we loved it. And at the end of the day, we made our little post and we said, look, guys, we don't care as long as it keeps these centers open, if that saves them money, if it keeps league bowlers happy. That's all we care about. And everyone would come around. So seeing the top 10 bowlers on tour this year bowling on strings, I'm curious to see what the feedback will be from the fans. I'm curious to see what scores look like. I'm curious to see what hits we get. We might get a string hit or two just because it's bound to happen, especially when you have as much power as going to be on the lanes with the highest rev rates, the guys who throw it the hardest. We might see a couple weird hits, but you got to keep into mind, you got to be open-minded that the 1 or 2 weird hits you might see from string, you got to think of all the hits that you're not seeing that you typically get from just the free fall pins. So I am interested.
Yeah,
But most guys on tour are pro strings. They really are.
We heard Tom Clark talk, or you guys talk a little bit about too, the poor conservative said this is the same argument that was used in synthetic lanes when they were switching from wood to synthetic way back in the day. It's
for sure.
It's the same.
No one likes change.
And I mean, if we go back similar to that time, it's like, okay, well, what about when reactive balls came out?
Yeah.
What about when urethane balls came out instead of plastic? What
And
about,
then now
what about when
urethane's back
plastic?
the other way.
What about what about plastic instead of rubber? Like there's bowling is an always evolving sport, just like every sport, the NBA, the PGA, like so many sports.
Don't click
Guys, I will click it. Could we just create some love in the
Yeah.
sport, please? Could we just create some love? It is what it is. If I could change this vote to, would you rather your center close down or switch to string pins?
Everyone would
Almost
say
everybody would say
yeah,
just
of
switch
course.
to string pins and let me keep bowling.
Yeah.
Like if you could just choose to never bowl again or have a bunch of centers switch to string pins around you, I would 100% say, hey, I don't even care if they're uncertified strings. I'd rather just throw a ball down the lane and hang
Yeah,
out
at
with my
least be
friend
able
on
to bowl.
Thursday nights.
Yeah.
So
The thing is, people got the wrong narrative because the first couple posts that ever went out about strings, they weren't the competitive links, so they were the shorter links that are way different. We are not talking about those. So people got the wrong impression early, and then people just ran with the narrative they saw without actually bowling themselves. So just be open-minded today for the people that aren't on the string side today, and just watch the bowling, and then take that into account after it's all said and done today in the one-handed versus two-handed. But I think we should dive a little bit into the one-handed versus two-handed.
which is another change in the sport, right? Like we talk about with the
Exactly.
string pins, like we talk about with synthetic, it's ever evolving. There's more two-handers now, especially if you go to a tournament like a junior gold or something like that. Right here, Leo said, change is inevitable. It'll just take some getting used to. I
Yep.
feel being able to adjust different types of lanes validates it more as a professional sport, which
I would agree.
We agree 100%. Yeah, let's dive into the match. We got 19 minutes. We could talk about the odds a little bit. There's some
Yep.
betting odds. We could talk about the matchups, who's on the teams. But
Yeah.
do you know who's on the teams?
I know for the two-handers, you got Belmo,
It's a good
Tim
guess.
Foy,
Yep.
Kyle Troop,
Yep.
Jesper,
Yep.
and then Christopher Vi.
Yes, sir.
One-handers, you got EJ.
Nice.
That was a tough one.
Woo.
I don't know if you're gonna get that one.
You got EJ. I don't know the two-handers. The one-handers, actually.
Only knows
you
EJ.
got- you got-
Yeah.
you got
Graham, Butters, EJ,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Dang, the left is walled this year for one-handers.
Graham won for one-handers. Graham, Andrew. Who's the fifth one? Oh, KP.
KP, yeah.
We're rooming with him.
Yeah.
I also didn't know. I was like,
Uh,
he drove us to the bowling alley this morning.
yeah, kind of. I mean, who's the guys that stands out to you on the two-handed team? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Tim Foy is
Okay,
the
can we
guy.
talk about if Belmo's going to be in the anchor spot or not?
Can I make a statement on that?
Take the mic.
Yeah. Get him in the lead off. Get him in the lead off.
I think he
The
should be.
two-hole.
I think he should be the 2 or 3 hole because it's the least important spot in the lineup. Belmo's proven a true team player over the years. He stands. To be honest, if we're talking what the lineup should be, Troop should be in the 5.
Yeah.
I don't care what
He's-
kind of season they've
he's
all
won
had.
the PBA
Troop
league.
is like the ultimate team player.
Yeah.
He's won the PBA thing. I mean, he's won the PBA league 3 times, I believe. Maybe 4.
At least three.
At least three.
At least 3.
And I mean, he's just proven to be like the ultimate team player. And if we're talking the one-handers, it should be Andrew Anderson, past league
Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah, the last league MVP.
Or maybe Grandpa.
Or do you want the
Also
guy
the
who gets the crowd fired up as your one-hole?
I
You want
think-
Kyle
no,
number 1?
No, I think
To
it's
get the
right. I
crowd
think it's
fired up.
Kyle and Andrew should be in the spot.
Yeah, I mean that's why Belmo.
They're both
Belmo
proven.
shouldn't be one. It should be like if I was setting the lineup for the two-handers.
Set your lineup.
Okay, so it's Vi, Foy, Belmo, Troop, and Jesper. I'd put Jesper 1 and tell him like, hey, when you strike, give a little something to the crowd, fire him up a little bit.
They're gonna do that anyways, though.
Or you put Belmo there and you make him give him a little boom out the gate,
The big boom.
but like with like you encourage the crowd to do it with you.
Yeah.
You fired up.
And then, yeah, and I would say go Jesper first. Just like lefties, I feel like lefties usually are either the lead off or
yeah.
the 5 hole.
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot of in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then from there, I would say it doesn't really matter and just put Troop 5th. Yeah.
Beef and Barnesy chiming in. Jacob, Fa, KP, EJ, Andrew. I love that. Lefty, lefty. And then KP was always 8 or 9. in when he was in the league, and then EJ's hottest player. But you got to give it to Andrew because he was the league MVP. He showed up and did his thing all year long last year. It's only right to put him in that spot early, and he's bowling well this year. Because everyone always thinks immediately the best player goes in the 5 spot, but that's just not always the case.
I mean, you could
It's like
also,
the thing with Belmo. It's like Belmo's the best player. He just needs to be in the 5 hole. That's not always true. EJ doesn't always need to be in the 5 hole. It doesn't hurt, but like that's not always the case.
Also, if you guys haven't already, go subscribe to their channel. They do live chats on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe.
Yeah.
Every week. So I know most weeks it's once a week, every week of the year, and then most weeks it's twice a week. What do you guys think about two-handers? Doesn't matter. Gonna have an open every rotation. And who's the open coming from? Call them out. Say them by name.
An open every rotation.
Say them by name. Who's gonna open?
Who do you think that is? Chime in. It's definitely OB.
No, I think it's definitely Stu.
It's definitely
but I would
Stu.
say if we're talking the one-hand rotation, I wouldn't be opposed to putting Graham in the 5 hole.
I mean, he
Graham
also
doubles
doesn't
every single 10th frame. I know he didn't at the Masters against Gary
make
Haynes,
the
but
show.
he threw the shot that he needed to. It just didn't strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no wrong answer, right? These are the top 10 guys on tour this year, and we're almost to the end of the season. So it's not like after 2 weeks and these guys are just had a good week or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no wrong answer. Any guy could be in the 5 spot because they're all striking. They've all made a bunch of telecasts. All of them have been bowling for titles, things like that. So, but I think the way to go is Troop in the 5 hole. Andrew in the 5 hole, at least game 1. If they need to switch it up, they go from there. Those guys are proven. If you want to win, I'm curious to see how serious they take it. I
hope they take it. I know they'll joke around and they'll take it.
I think
like,
it's fun at first. They're having fun, and then like a team might be down 0-1 or 0-2, and then it's like, well, we don't want to lose. And then it'll kick in that competitive, kind of like any all-star. It's like have fun. They're not really trying, and then it's like, okay, I'm not just gonna get embarrassed.
Yeah, well, or the opposite. I think it's like, ha ha ha. Oh, it's a 5-pin match.
Yeah.
Nobody talks
Well,
any
I
smack
gotta throw a
anymore.
strike,
Everybody
yeah.
like tries to lock in the last 3 frames and call it good. I think the least pressure is
Wow.
whoever's on the 1-2.
Even though he's not in the lineup, still bug.
All right. Yikes.
Yeah, I agree. I think the competitive nature will come in pretty quick. If a guy needs 1 in 10th, he's not gonna be making jokes as he's on the approach. He's like, okay, I do want to strike here,
Yeah.
and then make my joke after. Do a little dig at them.
Yeah, I would. For you guys asking where we are, we're just in the bar at Foxview Lanes, which is where the show is happening in 13 minutes on FS1. FS1, 13 minutes. But yeah, we could talk about the odds a little bit. We could talk about maybe
guys,
the scores.
we don't bet
They don't
because
have
we can't bet.
They don't have an over/under, do they?
They don't have no over/under because it is. Oh, it might be match game, go to game. So the odds is. Who do you guys think the underdog is? It's actually Team Two-Hander. That is very surprising.
Yeah.
Just because it seems like the two-handers have been the majority of the top 5-10 guys in the last 5, 6, 7 years. They're plus 120 to Team One-Handers minus 159 for the match.
If you wanted, I would say if you wanted the best actual odds, it would be Team One-Hander to win. Well, I mean the worst odds. It would be Team One-Hander to win 3-1. Would be like the odds-on favorite prediction.
Yeah.
You can bet them to win by plus 1.5, which would be a 3-1 victory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, who do we think? Who are we rooting for?
I mean, I'm rooting for the most entertaining telecast. I don't just because I'm a one-hand or two-hander.
I hope it's 3-2.
I hope it goes the distance. I hope we don't see a bunch of dumb string hits that people think it's a norm because it's really not. I hope it's just a quality match. I hope the guys are into it and they're entertaining, which they will be. These guys will be, for sure. It'll be fun. If I had to give the edge, I just got to think the two-handed team is going to win.
We'll see how
Bold
many.
prediction: the two-handers sweep 3-0.
Oh,
Tell me you're biased without telling me you're
Not
biased.
happening.
Tell me you're biased.
Not happening.
I think it goes the distance. I think 3-2, two-handers.
Who sets the lineup? Okay, so I think the captains are
It's
the highest point totals for each team.
It's EJ and
which would be
Belmont.
EJ and Belmont. Strictly based off points. That's who the captains are. That's
You want to? No, you
That's
want.
who's going to set the lineup. And if I was on Team Two Hands, I would look him in the eyes and say, I'm not bowling if you're the 5-hole. You can take zeros for frame.
I love that.
That's
I'm
crazy.
kidding.
Here's the
That's
thing.
crazy.
Here's the thing. So when we were doing the open practice yesterday, Tony came up to Belmo and he said, "You and EJ are the captains. You guys will set the lines, whatever." And Belmo goes, "You can just say that we're the two best players on each team. It's fine." He goes, "No, I'm not. I can't be.
It's strictly
I
based
can't
on
play
points.
favorite." He's like, "I can't play favorites." Like he's like, "It's fine. You can just say we're the two best." Like just joking with him. It's like, oh, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
he's
He's
not
like,
wrong.
well-
But it is based off of the.
He was
points.
like joking with him.
Yeah, right.
He's like, so you say we're the two
Joking,
best.
but it's the truth too. It's fine. But yeah, that's the thing. Every time, yeah, I'm curious to see
What do
how
you
it
think the
goes.
scores are going to be like? We're bowling on the LBC pattern for this and for the Strike Derby later, which is going to be tomorrow at 12, I believe.
Yeah.
So each show, same time, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll do another live show for that. But you guys, if you're looking at the scoring pace, so Bet Rivers usually offers us a scoring pace because they can view the tournament and say these are about what these guys have shot.
I think they'll
this
be
is
a
what the
little
scores are gonna
lower
be.
than we think. Because
There is
it's-
no scoring prediction online for the
Yeah.
betting. So what do you guys think? Do you
It's
think it'll be
hard.
higher, lower, somewhere in the middle?
They're bowling on something easy, but it's strings, so you might lose at least a hit or two, and then having a 5-man baker, it's hard to get 5 guys to strike at once, even if they are easy. I still think they're gonna. When I say lower, like they're not gonna like 250s. So I think it's gonna take like 227, 237 to win every match,
Yeah.
or every game.
Say 215, 220.
220s, I'd say. Which you would think it's way higher because we're bowling on like the more league-based pattern.
I think watching them practice, I think it may be high scoring game 1,
And then they get hard.
and then what all those guys are doing to the lane isn't going to help each other.
They hook so much here when we practiced on them. Well, we practiced on the one pair where everyone bowled on it, and then when we went to the TV pair to practice on it, they hooked the same amount.
Yeah.
They
that's
hooked the
brutal.
same amount. So they are going to get a little funky, I think. I think that's what will keep scores down just because there's so much rev rate. And when we bowl on like easier patterns like that, there's nowhere near as much oil as what we're used to.
All right.
The
I love
Brooklyn
that.
Bombers.
So who's your guys' prediction? I'm going 3-2, two-handers.
Yeah, we got 8 minutes left. I'm thinking the scoring pace actually is going to be maybe 220s apiece the first game, and it'll be a fairly close contest. 3 misses for each team. Maybe
Yep.
one of them's a split, and then, or maybe 4 misses for one team.
How
3
many
for-
whiff single pins do we see? Because there's
Not
always
many. I think none.
every time the league comes around, everyone
You wanna
misses
bet lunch
single
on it?
pins. What's the over under though? We got to
On
set the
2?
over. You think there's gonna be less than
1.5.
2?
So
You think-
more than 1. I think there's going to be less. But you think 1? I think
I'll
1.
do it.
I think 1.5 is
I'll
the
do
number.
it.
I'll go less.
I'll do more
For lunch?
For lunch.
This is not a bet. This is a handshake lunch agreement between
Yeah,
friends.
it's just it's not a bet. Would we get in trouble for that?
No.
Um.
I don't know.
All right. Final prediction.
No.
Final prediction. I'll take team one-hander.
Okay.
I'll take team
Well,
one-hander with a double and a
taking
10th
team
from EJ
two-handers.
every game.
Two-handers.
A double and a 10th from Andrew? Oof. I'll take team two hands.
You got. Okay, so we're all team two hands.
I'll take team one hand. I'll be the odd man out.
All right.
I'll bet dinner with both you guys again. Truce.
Truce.
Was that a truce or a dinner bet?
Both dinner.
All right.
I'll take team one hands.
All right. I like that.
Yeah, I think team one
It'll
hand
be close.
is
It'll
going
go
to
the
create the smoothest, cleanest shape. I just think they got the best bowlers.
I think they're ball plaques. It's okay.
I mean, dude, you're just leaning into the biasness of a two-handed.
I have to.
What does the YouTube chat say? 53%? Oh, 50%? Oh my God. Oh.
That's too close.
52%?
That's about right. I mean, it is. I think it's going to go the distance. It's going to come down the last game just because these are the mix of the best guys. So,
I think you're getting 3 games out of them.
Who are you guys most
we?
excited? Who are you guys most excited to see bowl?
Tim Foy. I love
Tim
that
Foy?
he's bowling as
Yeah.
good as he is, and I love that he's getting exposure, and he's at something like this. Because all these other guys, they make multiple telecasts and stuff. And Tim's had a great year, so for him to be here, he belongs here, and he's such a good guy. So I like to see Tim get in the mix with all these superstars.
Graham.
I mean, yeah, Graham's
Yeah,
also
mine's
there
Graham.
too.
Team one hand.
Team lefty.
Team one hand.
It's
team
team
lefty.
lefty.
It's really
It's
team
team
lefty.
Team Brunswick.
It's really
Team Brunswick.
You don't get
Hold our team up.
You don't get any points for this, bud.
It don't matter. We're all up there.
It's
Yeah.
for morale.
And by all of us, I mean Foy
Yeah.
and Graham. That's why we're rolling well.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but we got the show on FS1 in 6 minutes from now. I always love to watch Prather Bowl. Who are you guys most excited to see out there? I think Graham is slowly getting a little more comfortable on TV. He's made a couple more TV
That's
shows.
good.
Not comfortable in terms of shot making, but comfortable in terms of just
like energy.
energy, personality.
Yeah, he kind of got into
all
the
of it.
crowd when he won early this year.
And I think he got into the crowd a little bit in the middle of the match too, when he was like starting to pull away.
Yeah.
And I think it helped him.
Yeah,
I think it helped him pull away even more. Like a couple misses early from his opponent, and then he had a string and finished right before the
He was
commercial
telling the
break, and he
crowd-
was telling
yeah.
he was hyping him up a little bit, which I really thought was cool. And I think this crowd is going to be unbelievable because once again, it's a more fun environment, so they're going to be encouraged to hopefully just be loud the whole time.
Yeah.
More of like that PBA league
I
type
imagine
format or that Battle of the Brands type format. So
My final question: will we see a string messenger? These are the guys that would do it.
I think early, the first match you may.
You may. It's
Yeah.
either yes or no. Do we see one? Because there's only
Yes.
going to be one.
yes,
We're not going to see multiple. You think we'll see one?
You're gonna see Glenn Comita every time. We appreciate it. 41 years.
Teaching public school music. Oh, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I appreciate that.
And now you're gonna have to end on a 4-minute cipher.
One hand versus two hand. Yeah, man. That's all I got, guys.
No messenger
I
until
was-
tomorrow.
I did
Thief
tell
and
the
Barnes, you think
PBA.
messengers during, which I was gonna say, I actually think the guy to do it would be Ryan.
It's Ryan. He throws it 1,000.
Just because he throws it
And
so
he's
much
hucking
harder
it
than the
hard.
rest of them.
It's gonna be me, guys. I'm
I
gonna
got
throw a messenger.
okay, let's all pick one guy today to throw a messenger, and if one of them hits, then they win.
EJ
they win
Tackett.
friendship. You think EJ?
EJ Tackett. It's EJ Tackett.
Okay. You think EJ? I got a different pick.
Jesper.
That was my pick.
Yeah.
So I won't pick Jesper then because you pick Jesper. I will pick.
It's probably Jacob.
Whoever said Andrew, you're wrong.
No. It's gotta be the guys that
Simo
huck 'em.
isn't bowling. That's fun though. It's gonna be Belmo.
But he says he's the unluckiest bowler and he doesn't get those hits.
It's gonna be Belmo.
Yeah, we know that's not true. It's okay. So EJ, yes for Belmo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, guys, the show is going live in 3 minutes. We're starting to hear music over there. We got to go claim our seats in the front row on the TV show.
And we
So
get a little bit of.
we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, go over to FS1 right now. Show starts up in 3 minutes. Go ahead, take over.
Dab on him. All right, guys. Thank you
That
for
was
tuning in to the
ridiculous.
pre-show. We'll see you tomorrow for the next pre-show for the Strike Derby, which all three of us are fortunate to be bowling in because of the fans like you. So thank you guys for all that voted, not even for us, for just in general to be a part of it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go Team Two-Handers. No, let's go fun to fun here. Let's
Fun
go